It's a beautiful Sunday, November 2nd, and you're listening to the Oklahoma Breakdown with Ikard and Lehman presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's number one casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack, match roulette, and Teddy's favorite, pool wraps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, always a good time. And the Oklahoma Sooners are 7-2, Ted. What a massive win in Knoxville.
Huge. Absolutely huge. Had to have it. What an atmosphere. Was that place crazy? How loud is that stadium?
It lived up to all of the hype.
Yeah.
And that place
it's hard
was,
for me upstairs, to get, because, the sound goes down, but every now and then when it's loud, I pull my headphones off to see what it's like. And yeah, loud.
Yeah. They know what they're doing there as well when it comes to like the in-game experience.
Yep.
I've never seen a DJ more be a bigger part of a sporting event in my life. Sterl the Pearl, the DJ for the Vols, is like the main attraction in the games. It's crazy. But the guy did a fantastic job.
Yeah, and like the build up to kickoff, it's like a 30-minute show before kickoff with all these different things that they do. The band is great. The dark mode, the light show that they put on, it was impressive.
It was a very fun experience, and it was a lot more fun because we won.
That's always the kicker. That's always the kicker.
Speaking of kicker, let's start there. First of all, Tate Sandell can wear whatever pants he wants if he's going to kick it like that.
Hey, imitation is the highest form of flattery, and I've got a feeling you're going to see a lot of kickers with the rolled up pants now from this point forward.
Tate Sandell can go on the field in a man thong for all I care if he's going to bury 50-yarders like that. Okay.
I saw a picture on Twitter that had him standing there ready to kick, and he was just in like whitey tighties underwear. It's pretty funny, man.
I love how the Photoshop, you kept seeing him like shorter and shorter and shorter. They got shorter every 50-yard field goal he hit, apparently. That was, in all seriousness, got to be one of, if not the best kicking performance in the history of Oklahoma football.
I don't know of one better. Especially considering on the road, that environment, that's a factor as well. But he was nails, dude. That was so awesome.
That was awesome. And now he's the short pants kicker guy. He's famous. Like McAfee was tweeting about him. Clay Travis was tweeting about, everyone was tweeting about Tate Sandell last night. And that's good for the brand, baby. Good for him, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's good to be known for something.
Hey, man, you're right. Like, I don't care. Had to have them, all of them. I don't know what it is now. He's made like 16, 17 in a row, something crazy. Maybe I'm high on that. I don't know. But to make field goals from that distance and to make them all by this much was awesome, man. That was amazing.
Just a clutch performance from Tate Sandell, and was a huge factor in the game. But let's jump into our breakdowns of the offense and defense, Ted. Let's start on the defensive side. What'd you see from OU's defense against that Vols offense?
Yeah. Everything considered, excellent. Just excellent. Some of the statistics. Now, keep in mind, I'm not sure today Tennessee's the number 4 offense in the country. I don't know what they were going in. Top 5. Okay. It was top 5 offense for sure. So to go into their house and perform the way that we did, I thought was excellent. And and this is kind of overall for the football game, but also speaking specifically to the defense. Um, okay, the game wasn't pretty. We had a chance to separate and really go bury Tennessee, and we allowed them to hang around in the football game. And I know people are going to be frustrated about that and upset about that and feel like there's still a lot of meat left on the bone with this football team. And that's true. But college football, it is harder to win than it has ever been. The athletes, the coaches, the environments, everything that comes with it, it is as hard as it's ever been to win. And, I was just thinking about it because last night I was scanning around on social media when we were on the bus headed to the plane. And, I saw a lot of, Tennessee choked or Oklahoma still, can't get out of their own way, different stuff like that. And even from our own fans. And the thing with me is we all have ownership in this football team. Whether you're a player, whether you're a former player, a coach, fans invest a lot of time, a lot of money. Like this is our thing. This is what represents us. And really what you want is you want a team that represents you the right way. It's like whenever you have a nice car or a nice motorcycle, what you want is someone to say, that's a nice bike, right? That's what you want. And this is a team. Like, I don't care what any of the pundits say. I don't care what people on podcast or on YouTube shows or on ESPN or anywhere tell you about your football team. Okay. Because I'll tell you right now, the people that matter are the people that watch the film and have an impression of what your team is. And Tennessee put up, like when you look at the box score, Aguilar threw for almost 400 yards. They scored, what was it, 27 on us. And you come away thinking like, man, our defense, I promise you, when people turn the film on, they will not say, man, that Oklahoma defense, it's not quite what we thought it was. That will not be the case. I promise you. People are going to turn the film on like they always do and say, that's the most physical team in the country. That team gives more effort than anyone in the country. Everything that you get on offense, you have to fight and scrap for, and you're ultimately hoping that they miss something. They miss a tackle. They get a pass interference call. They get a roughing the passer call. There is nothing easy against this team. And I, for one, am incredibly proud to say that this is my team because they play the way that I want my team to play. And I love it. There's a bunch of guys on the defense that played really well. The problem areas come down to a handful of plays. The first drive, we talked about it with Heupel, right? He's going to have some stuff for you. Their first 15, 20 plays are going to be schemed up. There's going to be some little details in there, the environment, like the energy that they come out with. It's hard to absorb that opening shot. We were talking through the numbers. They scored touchdown on like first drive, almost every drive so far this year. The points that they score in the first quarter compared to everyone else is insane. And that's a big part of it. and they had an opening drive on us. There was a horrible pass interference call. It's horrible. I never got to see the replay of it during the game. It's a stupid call. It's a bad call. Kept that drive alive for them. But they had a great play action down on the goal line, great play in the back of the end zone, great throw and catch. Hats off, number 4 offense in the country that went down and got a touchdown. After that, nothing. Yards, there's some yards here. They hit a couple of really nice throw and catches. The touchdown in the third quarter, it's 3rd and 8. We have the perfect call. We got a hard corner on the outside, trap coverage. They throw right into it. We have 2 guys combine on the hit. Don't wrap up. We just shoulder him. He kind of spins out of it and goes 55 yards for a touchdown. Perfect call, defended perfectly. We just don't wrap up. And that's the difference in this day and age between it's 4th down. Here's the decision. You're punting, you're going for it, and a touchdown. So there's a lot of that stuff in there. Problem area, tight end hide play. Okay, they hit us again for it. The play got called back on the weird shoulders, not square to the line of scrimmage for a guy on the ball, is not a lineman, whatever. First time we've seen that ever. And it was called twice in this game. Strange. But they missed a bad holding call on that play too. But that comes back. But they tried that play on us twice. Ole Miss hit us on it. We're going to continue to see it. As Venables calls it, professional courtesy, right? That's been a problem area for us. There was a couple of plays in there. On one of them, they hit us on a Lance play, like a skinny post. Hook player's right there. Perfect call. We're right there, but we fade to the opposite side. Quarterback's staring at it the entire time. Just stay in your hook, and it's a no play. We had a face mask on a call or on a play out in space when they're trying to make us miss. We jumped off sides on a 3rd and 6, gave them a 3rd and 1. Aguilar, we're the third quarter. It's like it's over. He throws a couple of interceptions. He's missing guys because of the pressure. He throws up it is a prayer ball. Kip Lewis is hitting him right in the chest. He doesn't even see a receiver. He just throws it up in the air, and it's a terrible throw. Receiver comes back to it. They get a pass interference call. I think it's a terrible call. It's a bailout call. They're both right there. It's bad. There's a couple of missed tackles late whenever they're kind of in that 2-minute trying to catch up with us. But all in all, I thought it was a really good performance. 63 yards rushing. What did we talk about with Hype coming into this game? He wants to run the ball. That's where their offense starts. And we whipped their ass in the running game, offensively and defensively. That told the story of the football game. We turned them over 3 times, right? We scored on defense. Sack fumble, Owen Heineke, big hit, jars the ball loose. Our Mason Thomas scoops it up, fights a guy off with a stiff arm for 20 yards. We go score a touchdown. Robert Spears Jennings makes an interception. It's a horrendous throw. Aguilar, it's one of the dumbest throws you'll see in football. Cover 2. He's got no one open. He's worried about the rush. He throws it directly to the half-field safety. There's no reason that ball should ever be thrown, but the pressure we put on him, forced him into that. He was totally rattled. Peyton Bowen makes a great play, center field. What I talk about coming into this game, Aguilar can light it up, but he's going where he's going with the football, right? He's got a quick release, but he's got a long windup. Well, he wanted to go there. He stared it down. Peyton Bowen drove on it, made a great play. So we had 3 turnovers. We had 4 sacks. We talked about this offensive line coming in. I defer to you when it comes to offensive line. You said this is the best offensive line we've played this season, right?
Yeah, I thought it was close between them and Ole Miss, but up to this point, this group had been a very, very consistent group.
Yeah. 4 sacks, tons of pressures, sack fumble for a touchdown, 1.8 yards per rush, dominated that offensive line. Physicality, toughness, linebackers coming up and popping guys, D linemen pushing guys back, throwing them down to their face. It was great. They got 2.25 points per drive. We defended 12 drives. 85 plays is what's on the film. There's some no plays in there and stuff, but you still take a toll. You still defend those. You're absorbing body blows. You're still exerting a lot of effort on that. With that amount of plays to hold them to what we did, and they were kind of scrambling late and got points. They got 5.7 yards per play. And it's actually a little bit less than that whenever you consider the no plays and stuff that are in there. But all in all, I thought it was a really good performance. A handful of critical missed tackles, a handful of critical penalties, and they made some nice plays. Give it up to them. They made some really nice. Aguilar, the late throw in the back of the end zone was great. He threw a really nice dig route. They hit us on a deep ball early. It was a perfectly thrown ball. Little bit of offensive pass interference to get the separation and make the catch, but I got no problem with that play. I thought it was nicely executed by them. And I mentioned the one where it's 3rd and 8. We got a trap corner there. Perfect call. Should have been off the field, but missed tackle turns into a touchdown. Just a handful of plays in there that I thought we overall defended really well, but you got to wrap up. You got to make plays. I thought the effort was outstanding. Guys that I thought played really well. Robert Spears Jennings had a huge hit in the backfield or right at the line of scrimmage. Had a nice tackle where he came off the edge. Had the interception. Cortland Guillory again. Last week, tough duty. Played a hell of a game. This week, tougher duty. Played a hell of a game. He was one of the guys on the missed tackle there. The shoulder, he had a couple of shoulders instead of wrapping up. That's something that he can clean up and get better at. True freshman, incredible stuff. Some of the coverage that he had was just fantastic.
One thing about RSJ, maybe the biggest play of the game for him was that hands team play on the first onside kick.
Oh, totally forgot about that.
That
just snags it out of the air.
That was a great onside kick. And it's one of those where it's like, why do we have a safety on hands team? Oh, that's why. It was a huge play in the game because that was a very dangerous, well-placed onside kick. And the hands he displayed on that was impressive, man.
No, it was great. It really was. Kip Lewis, great effort, great energy. Had a real nice effort tackle on a long play that got out. He chased it all the way down. That helped us out. Couple of TFLs, had a pass breakup, had a couple of pressures, had a sack. There's a couple of things with him in coverage. We talked about the pull protection, right? They run a lot of the counter stuff. You see those guards pulling, and then they run the play action, guard pulls, backers step up. He got baited up a couple of times. There's one, he has an awesome pass breakup. Drives on a tight end, separates him from the ball. Next play, I think he was trying to do it again. They throw it to the outside. He tries to undercut it instead of securing the tackle. But, you never have to worry about the effort and the attitude and the physicality with the way that he plays. Owen Heineke, another fantastic game. Had the sack fumble that caused the touchdown. Plenty of big hits. Effort was great. There was a effort on a boot play where he got outflanked a little bit, ran it down. I don't think we talk about how fast he is enough. That kid can fly. I don't know what his 40 time is, but when you turn the film on, that dude can run. Couple of big hits, physical hits. Just an impressive day from him. R. Mason Thomas had the touchdown. Didn't have a whole lot of snaps, but the snaps that he was in, he was a factor. Getting to the quarterback, he got held on a couple they didn't call, but he had the touchdown. Hopefully he's okay moving forward. Luckily, we have the bye week. Grayson Holton, really good on the inside. Dominic Williams, really good on the inside. Jaden Jackson, really good on the inside. Again, we're used to that. Boganowski came in and did what he did, missiled some people, had a really nice tackle off the edge, had a TFL off the edge, thought he played a really good game. And we got to see Amarian Robinson, the freshman, come in. And that dude's going to be a stud. I'm just telling you right now, it's coming. He comes in and caps off on, he's like a half-field safety. They run it inside. It's in a pile, and he just missiles in there and smashes the running back. I loved it. Jacoby Johnson came in, did some really good stuff. Great defense on a deep ball chest to chest with the guy. It was good to see him rotate in at corner and do good. I thought PJ had a really nice game. He continues to come around. Effort, physicality. He made a real nice tackle for loss, bubbles a guy into the backfield on an outside play and gets a tackle for loss on a 3rd and short. Punt team up after that was really good. Devon Jordan came in, didn't get a whole lot of snaps, but came in, had a big TFL on a bubble, and had a great play. This doesn't show up in the box score, but makes a TFL on a bubble. Very next play, we get a pressure on the quarterback. He's defending a go route deep ball. He reroutes the receiver out of bounds. The play's just totally dead. Aguilar tries to throw it down there, skips off the turf. Really good couple of reps from him. I thought Omosigo flashed a couple of times. He reminds me of myself as a young linebacker, and most linebackers that are really good, really athletic. He's got the same problem. He overruns a lot of stuff. Once he gets the angles down and learns that, like, he knows the defense, but once it's second nature to him, he's going to be a hell of a player. Eli Bowen had a couple of really nice plays, played the fade in the end zone late. Kendall Daniels was a factor. It was a little more quiet of a night for him, but he's always a factor when he's in. Just a bunch of guys played really well. It was a good night. Clean up the penalties. David Stone, he's right there at the quarterback. He's trying to bat the ball, gets the roughing the passer call. But hey, butterfly effect. We scored a touchdown on defense on the very next play. So, you know what? I'll take it. But we got to be smart around the quarterback. Given how good they are at pushing the ball down the field, I thought we defended really well without getting the pass interference calls. I think we had 2, and I think both of them could have been no calls. So the one was a prayer ball, I said, that Aguilar threw up. Looks like a high school play. It's pathetic, and they get a bailout call. But again, I want to reemphasize to people, like, the reason you watch this team and you cheer for this team and you follow this team and you invest your time and this money into this team is you want to say, that's mine. I want everyone to see what I have. And I promise you, other coaches, other teams, other players, people that watch the film, that's exactly what they say.
The thing that stood out to me defensively, and this is something that I'm always looking at during a game, there were a lot of Tennessee guys that caught the ball or ran the ball that took a lot of time to get off the ground.
A lot.
Because they were getting smashed.
Yep.
And it wasn't perfect. It's a lot of yards. It's more yards than they want to give up, I'm sure. But that's an explosive offense, a really well-designed offense that creates a ton of space. But the bottom line was OU's defense was more physical than Tennessee's offense.
Yes.
They took the fight to them, and, like, I guarantee you those dudes from Tennessee are feeling it today. That is the most violent performance I can remember in quite some time from an OU defense. It could have been better, sure. but the hitting, the knockback at the point of attack, like guys flying in late and delivering big shots to ball carriers, like that's what it looks like. And I think that's what you're trying to say. And
Yes.
I very much enjoyed watching it from the sideline.
Yeah. Held them under their average scoring, held them under their average yards. They had 456 yards. But when the teams that will be preparing for Tennessee the rest of the season are going to watch that film and say, where is it? I don't know where it is. Like that, because that's my reaction when I watch it. There's long stretches in there where it is choke out, great defense, and just a handful of plays. But I'm proud of these guys. Another really impressive performance, and I appreciate the effort and the physicality that they play with. It represents the brand exactly how you want it represented.
I think the only guy that I thought played really well that you didn't mention was Taylor Wine.
I don't know how I missed
That dude, the physicality he was playing with at the point of attack, it was one of those things where it was like that guy is taking it to another level right in front of our eyes. That's how it felt to me.
Yes. Yeah,
the production, like you may not look at the stat sheet and see much, but 44 was delivering blows throughout this game. It was fun to watch, man. He hits me entirely too hard on the sideline. I can't tell him that, but like I'm not what I used to be, man. He comes and just two-hand punches me in the chest about 4 times a game, and I have to pretend it doesn't hurt, but it does, Ted. It hurts.
He's the guy that like you walk by in the hallway and you fist bump, and it's like, you know, everything about him is just hard. You know what I'm saying? And
I'm gonna clip that for sure.
You've heard me talk about like great defenses play in a panic. Everything looks like a panic, right? You're scrambling for everything. That's how he is on every single snap. Fantastic. Love that guy. I don't know. I'm just glad he's on Oklahoma's football team, and that dude's going to play ball for a long time.
No doubt about it. Anything else? OU's defense against that Tennessee offense.
I think that's it.
All right, let's talk about OU's offense first, that Tennessee defense. But first, download the Loves app from Love's Travel Stops, your guide to savings on the road. Fill up for less with a discount on fuel, 10 cents off on every gallon of gas, and 25 cents off on every gallon of auto diesel. And don't forget, in the store, you can unlock mobile deals on the Loves app to save on snacks, drinks, and select meals at Love's restaurants. Plus, you can plan your pit stops for your next road trip with the map and route planner. All from Love's, the heart of the highway.
Steaks are back. Didi Ranch's luxury steak cuts are restocked and ready to ship straight to your door. From mouth-watering ribeyes to silky smooth fillets, this is the best beef Oklahoma has to offer. And here's the kicker. They're now shipping next day air for free when you use code SOONER at checkout. That's right. Next day air like Amazon Prime, but for steak. Didi Ranch delivers taste and tradition the luxurious way. Order today at DiddyRanch.com and get your steaks just in time for the holidays.
And we are brought to you by Simple Modern, the Oklahoma-owned company and proud official drinkware partner of the OU Sooners. Guys, it's November in Norman, and that means 2 more home football games where you can grab Simple Modern's limited edition, brand new design drinkware that's only available in the stadium. These also make the perfect holiday gift for every Sooner fan in your life, especially for those who can't make it to a game. I'm telling you, it's the perfect way to cheer on the Sooners. And with 10% of all profits going to charity, many right here in Oklahoma, every sip supports Oklahomans on and off the field. Simple Modern, good everywhere. All right, recapping what we saw from the Sooners offense against the Vols defense. That was certainly the full John Mateer experience, Ted. Whoa.
Yes, it was.
The good, the bad, the ugly. We got it all from number 10.
Hey, you know what? One of the things that we talked about is, hey, it ain't going to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just cut it loose and go find a way to win the football game. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of what we expected. We didn't expect a finely tuned pocket passer whenever he came here. We knew we were getting a little bit of a a wild card, and that's what you saw.
First and foremost, no more pregame high fives for John Mateer. Can we all just agree that we understand he's not giving any pregame high fives anymore? That clip was absurd.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's
what OU fan squeezes John Mateer's hand. What are you doing? How does that happen? That blew my mind.
You can't fan out on your quarterback like that. I know it's awesome. I know it's great, but let's go. Come on, guys. Keep it together.
We got to have better awareness as a fan base. Can't happen. Now,
totally.
Let's talk about the good first with Mateer. I thought he played the game with the most energy, the most juice that we've seen from him since the injury.
Totally agree.
Particularly as a runner, and I thought he put his body on the line again. Like he was back to stiff arming and trying to run through the trash. And I think he knows they have a bye week next week and was like, all right, when I run it, I got to lay it on the line. And that's what he did. And I respect the heck out of that. I thought that we continue to get to, in my opinion, like in some of these critical situations, like we lean too much on him as a runner.
Yeah.
Instead of just, if we want to run it, giving it to Xavier Robinson, who really has it rolling over these last couple weeks. But Mateer did do some things, some nice things, especially like in the empty QB run game.
Yes.
We did. Those are tough plays to defend too. But he had a couple of really nice throws, like some of the best throws we've seen from him since the injury. And it felt like they were all to Isaiah Satania.
Mm-hmm.
There was the one where Satania's working away from the leverage of that inside backer or of that nickel, and Mateer fits it. It's on time. It's in a small window. It's a great throw. There's one late in the game where, hey, Isaiah Satania's got one-on-one in the slot, and he just wins on an out route. Mateer puts it right on him. Big play in the game. The best throw we've seen from Mateer since the injury. Satania runs the out and up on down the sideline, and Mateer just rips it in between a corner and a safety. I mean, those are the things that you start seeing that stuff from him, and you go, okay, it seems like he's coming back. But then there was all the other stuff, man.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, like, it was the full John Mateer experience, because particularly early in the game, in that first half, his feet were just all over the place.
Yep.
He was leaving his feet to throw the ball pretty consistently, which I'm not a quarterback coach, but I don't think jumping and throwing the ball is what you're looking for from a fundamental standpoint. That just kind of popped up. He was uneasy in the pocket. It was a little jumpy. Even when there wasn't pressure, he was kind of acting like there was pressure.
Yep.
I don't know. It was weird, but he was just kind of bouncing around back there. I thought Arbuckle did some good things in the second half, just getting him out of the pocket.
Yeah, I agree.
Sprint, pass, boot, like just get him out of there. He wasn't feeling comfortable. Like get him out of there and let him play on the move a little bit. And he did some nice things in those scenarios. But ultimately, you mentioned it, we won the game. Yep. And he was a big piece of why we won the game. But the RPO throw with 4 minutes to go in the game, that is a mistake you cannot make as a quarterback.
Nope.
And maybe it's on Arbuckle for just eliminating the pass option on that play. I mean, maybe, I don't know if they have a give tag where it says like, hey, the RPO is off. Like, you give the ball. If there's any time to have one of those, that's the time. But this is a veteran guy that's played a ton of football. He has to know in that situation, hey man, I gotta hand it off.
Yep. It's 4 minute offense, right? Like we're in run the clock out mode right there, and you're running the ball really well. And it's not all pretty. It's not like you're giving it whenever there's a huge gaping hole. Like Xavier Robinson's running through guys, just hand that thing off. I did want to mention with Mateer on the run stuff. He took some shots now. There was a couple of times where he got up slow after some of those runs. And credit to him. It ain't easy to play quarterback. It's a lot of snaps, and when you're taking the dual responsibility as a runner and taking shots as a running back, it's tough. Tough. I thought he had a really just tough effort out there that can't go without being mentioned.
No, I thought he played with great toughness. I don't think anyone's ever going to question his
No,
toughness.
no way.
The questioning is some of the decision making in the passing game, right?
Yep.
And it's clear. All you have to do is watch that pregame clip. Like, his hand isn't feeling as good as he's leading us to believe.
Right.
So you got to factor that in as well. So there's a lot to be upset with, but ultimately the guy went on the road and we beat Tennessee, man. You know?
Yeah.
So I still can't believe he threw that RPO and didn't just hand it off. But luckily, we end up winning the game. Now, would I have a different tone of voice if that would have ended up costing us the game? I think so, but results matter. That's just how this sport works. But I thought great toughness, great energy. It's the most vocal and intense I've seen him on the sideline since he's been here. Like, he had that look in his eye, man. And he was going up and down the sideline. And I thought his teammates could feel that energy and feel that intensity. And that was an overall positive for the football team. There were some really unfortunate decisions in this game from him. But, hey, you went on the road and beat Tennessee.
Yep. And in that environment, that was loud. That's not an easy place to play quarterback with all the communication and everything. It's hard to operate an offense. In my opinion, I think a lot of it comes down to trust with his offensive line in the passing game. You have to trust that those guys are going to protect you. They're going to let you down some, right? And you may take some shots, but when it is like, you have to play the position as if the protection is always good and then react whenever it's not. It's like he's preloading his get out of jail reaction whenever he doesn't need it. But that'll come. As long as he's learning from this stuff, like, the best way to learn something is to make a big mistake on a big stage where everyone sees it, and you'll remember that. So it'll be burned in. But I appreciate the effort that he played with.
No doubt about it. And the run game was, I wasn't surprised. I thought we could run it relatively well against this Tennessee defense. And that ended up being the reason that I think we were able to win the football game.
They rushed it 35 for 63. We rushed it 35 for 192.
That's the game, in my opinion. And clearly the turnover margin. That was huge. Scoring on defense is huge. Sandell being the best kicker on planet Earth, huge. But being able to run the football in that second half, even though you had some big mistakes on offense in the second half, we've got to drive together. We've got the momentum. Xavier Robinson fumbles.
Yep.
It feels like we're going to ice the game. Job Mateer makes a bad decision, throws the interception. Should we knock out our discussion about the end of the game management? What did we think of Xavier Robinson laying down on the one and then scoring the next play? It felt very much like we should have forced them to use one timeout and then scored.
Yeah. Well, it looked like, I don't know what it looked like on film. It looked like to me he broke through and was free and was trying to look back to the sideline to say, like, should I score? Should I go down? And
he looked back at both sidelines on the tape. Like, he's almost looking at Tennessee's sideline to see if, like, hey, are they letting me score?
Right.
But ultimately, I thought it was the smart decision, but the way that we managed it after that was confusing after Xavier Robinson made that decision.
Yep. They did burn the one timeout, right? So they did burn the one timeout after that. But, yeah, you're on the half-inch line, kneel it, sneak it to where you don't get anything, like whatever you got to do. You probably could have managed that a little bit better at the end, but punching it in is never a bad thing either. But we can't take a penalty on the ensuing kickoff on the touchback.
That was
I didn't. I couldn't see it.
I
I tried to find it, but it wasn't up yet.
I I got the sense that the special teams coaches weren't mad at him. I think he may have just, I don't know, maybe he did get him by the face mask, but from kind of the conversations that I heard, it sounded like he just threw the guy to the ground so violently that maybe they thought he did it by the face mask. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't gone and watched it, but yeah, that's just a penalty Okoye can't get in that
Yep.
moment. And it was one of those where I guarantee our fans were just going, why can this not be easy? Because I know I certainly was saying that. It's like, why can we just not make this easy? But hey, ultimately it's an entertainment product and it was entertaining. But the management at the end of the game offensively, it was certainly interesting. I In the dream world, you don't have to field two onside kicks, right?
Right. Yep.
So but
And they were two good kicks though, too. It's like, hey, and that's something that we don't you just they tried an onside kick, no big deal. They didn't get them. Man, that is a tense, anxiety filled play. And it's one of the hardest things to do in football. You got guys burying down on you. So that was awesome.
Xavier Robinson was really good again, man. 16 for 115 and the touchdown. Clearly could have had the second touchdown on the long run where he goes down at the one. And I think his vision is getting better. Like the more he's playing, he's starting to see some of these things where the defense commits too much inside. And that was something like we knew coming into this game, Tennessee had some peaky defensive ends. And when they peaked, it seems like he saw it the majority of the time and made him pay for it. And that's what good backs do. I thought he played really hard. I thought he was really physical. Sure, you don't want to fumble. But I thought the way that he bounced back after the fumble was great. Some guys, you fumble and you get real tentative. You start playing slow. That's not how he played at all. It was full throttle, wide open, running through the trash, falling forward every single time. And
Yeah.
I think that says a lot about him, the way that he bounced back after having that big negative play.
And credit the coaching staff for trusting it. You'll see at times a guy will fumble and his day's done.
Right.
Credit them for keep feeding it to him. You mentioned the physicality. How about him on that touchdown run, running through that guy? Whew. That, trust me, that shows up on film. When people watch it, they're like, man, I don't want to tackle that dude.
He's a big back and he played like it. And but the thing is, like, he looks as fast as he's ever looked.
Yep.
And that's very, very exciting. I thought he did a solid job as a blocker. They blitzed a lot more than they have typically, and they tested him pretty consistently in pass protection. And he lost some battles. He did, but I thought that it was never a lack of physicality and a lack of want to. You know what I mean? They put him in some tough spots, and he stuck his face in there every single time. But I was really, really impressed with how he played. And this is a couple weeks in a row. He looks like RB1 for us right now. And that is, that's no slight on Torrey Blaylock. He's been really, really good. I've said it multiple times this year. He's exceeded every expectation I had for him in his true freshman season. But it feels like X has got something right now. And he's really seeing things well, and he's able to run through the trash. And I don't know, man, it's really exciting to see the way that he is progressing this season, because he was banged up all camp. I know a lot of fans want to go, why was that guy not playing all season long? It's because he hasn't really been healthy, and I'm not sure he's all the way back to 100% yet. But he's close and he's playing really well. So clearly he's going to be a big piece of this offense down the stretch of this season.
Yeah, and we were stressing and stressing and stressing over the running game for the first half of this season, and with his emergence, it's come alive. I mean, it's what you want to see. He's put some really good games together, back-to-back 100-yard rushing games, and I imagine he's going to continue to get a bigger share of the work. And we're going to need the running game to close out this season for sure.
I would like for him to be able to carry more of the load and to not have to be a guy that's carrying it 15, 16 times. But if that's what we got to do to go beat Bama and Tuscaloosa, then so be it, man.
No, I agree. And I think that, and I think I mentioned this on the broadcast or, between breaks when we were talking, that I think we're still kind of stuck in, we got to have the quarterback run to run the football. And it's like one of the big feature pieces of what we do. But with the emergence of Xavier Robinson, I think it needs to go back to being an accent.
Yeah, I think that's a great way of putting it. And we didn't reinvent the wheel with the run game. Split zone, same side split zone, zone insert, RPOs built off all of those. I thought I would have liked to see us get to more of the counter stuff. It looked really good, man. Yeah. Some of the counter stuff looked really good. I thought we could have got to Foj. Oh my goodness, dude.
Hey, we'll get there.
We'll get there. Oh, the wash he had on one of them. I watched it 20 times. I was just like, yes. But I thought we could have gotten to some of the gap scheme stuff. I thought we blocked it really well, and they were having some trouble fitting it most of the time. But hey, went on the road in an extremely hostile environment, and you rushed for 192 and a couple touchdowns.
Let's go.
With the way that this run game looked earlier in the season, we'll take it.
We'll take it.
On to the wide receivers. Isaiah Satania just continues to get open for this team. 6 for 68, had a couple of huge plays in this game, just big momentum plays in this game. And honestly, I'd love to see us target him more. The guy gets open.
The speed out stuff with him is great.
Oh, he just freezes guys and creates separation on those routes. So I would love to see us just go to him till someone stops it. You know what I mean? I know
and those plays seems to be what Mateer's most comfortable with, right?
For sure. I mean, the Mateer's when you look at his eyes and feet on that stuff, like that quick action to Satania, that's when he looks the most fundamentally sound too.
Yeah.
Where it's like he's in rhythm, he's on time, he's got a good foundation with his feet underneath him. And that's why I think those are his most accurate throws of the day, is because the fundamentals are all aligned. But Satania continues to be our biggest playmaker in the passing game. And the best throw of the day for Mateer, I mentioned it, that out and up where he takes it down the sideline. Just an awesome route from Satania. Really good hands. He continues to play at a high level. Deion Burks, 6 for 45. It was mainly all the stuff in the quick game, whether that was at the line of scrimmage or kind of just some quick spot routes, curl routes, whatever you want to call them in the game. And he took some big hits and held on to the ball. And I thought he played with physicality from that standpoint. He had the drop, which that's a big play in the game. You got to make that catch, right? That's Mateer's on the move. They're running. I can't remember if it was boot or sprint pass, one or the other, but he's right there. It opens up exactly how it's designed. You got to make that play. But he's out there battling. He continues to lose some battles as a blocker, but he's just not a very big guy, Ted. Yeah. So it's still not as dynamic and as explosive as you want it to be, but he's doing some good things out there. I want to make sure I mentioned to Michael Carter. He got his opportunity, and I thought he came in and played well. I thought he played good, with good effort. I thought he showed good speed. I thought he was physical as a blocker. I That dude will mix it up. Now he ends up with 2 catches for 21 yards, but solid hands, protected the ball on both of those opportunities. And frankly, he just looked faster than Giovanni Gibson on some of the clear out route stuff. And now the ball didn't come his way on some of those, but his play speed looks a little better than Giovanni's at this point in time.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, there was a couple plays where you could tell that he was selling out blocking, and I know, like as a wide receiver, you want the highlight plays in the end zone, right? But that stuff matters in winning football games.
He will do the dirty work, which you need those guys. Giovanni Gibson, the 2 for 9. Once again, he's struggling to create separation, and I still don't think he's quite back to himself. But it was interesting that we went away from him and we saw more Jermichael Carter there in the second half. I'm guessing it's just because Giovanni was having a tough time creating separation from a physical corner group from Tennessee that was being really handsy in this game. Other than that, Ivan Carion, wanted to make sure I mentioned him. Ices the game.
Yep.
With the second onside kick recovery. That's a big deal. Big deal, even though he didn't have a role really at all on offense in this game. Let's hit tight ends before we hit O-line. Kanik, 3 for 16. I thought the ball could have found him a few more times in the middle of the field. He did get a good job. He had a lot of those just kind of drag routes where he found himself open, and a couple of them where he was really open. Ball just didn't find him, but made some competitive catches in those situations. Got absolutely destroyed one time fighting for like an extra 3 feet where it's like, hey, man, maybe you should just defensive tackle comes and just smokes him. But it was tough duty for him in the running game because, dude, they were playing big, heavy guys at edge, and we're running all the split zone stuff, and he's going and he's giving it everything he's got on those big edge players for Tennessee. But that's just, as we all know at this point, that's just really not the strength for him, which brings me to Caden Helms. Man, this guy's got to play more.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's not as fast and doesn't get as open as Kanik does in the passing game, but we put him in some really tough situations as a blocker in this game, and he did a really nice job. Now, he lost some battles, but like we've got him at the point on sprint pass, one-on-one with an edge guy, and like he's holding up and fighting like crazy.
Yeah.
The effort, the physicality is really good from 18, man. Really good. And I don't think it's not a coincidence that the run game really got going when he was in there running the zone insert, running the split zone, running the same side split zone. He was really good in the running game in this game.
That's good. I like it. And probably getting some confidence going too. And, he may not find himself as open, but we've seen he's got good hands and he makes good competitive catches. And like, you're right, playing more, because that's just not a big part of our game right now, going to the tight ends in the passing game anyways. It's just kind of a check down type of piece for us at the moment.
But with what we did in the run game, we still didn't do, put them in line and make them block edge guys. And we shouldn't. That's not a strength of this group. But with what we're doing, he's better suited for this run game than Kanik. Like, we ran the one pin pull play. Would have liked to see us get back to it because it was really successful. But he comes in and he's sealing a guy off. Like, he's motioning and he just does a nice job in the run game. And I'm with you, man. It's hard to weigh what's more important, a guy that can run and get open or a guy that's the better all-around guy. I think that I would expect us to see Helms' share of the snaps continue to increase. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
We did go to some 12 personnel late, which I was over on the sideline going, Okay, here we go. And to Carson Kent's credit, I know he had the hold on the Xavier Robinson fumble play, but every other snap than that, the dude went in there and battled, and he lost some battles, but he was in there mixing it up when he was on like-sized guys, like inside backer type bodies. I thought he did a solid job. But
Nice.
yeah, I was surprised that was one of our go-to personnel packages late in the game. But hey, Xavier Robinson's touchdown run, it's 12 personnel inside zone with the tight ends both on the backside, kind of on the focal point of the play, and those guys come roaring off the rock. I mean, roaring off the rock. Like someone told them, go down as hard as you can, and whatever happens, happens, boys.
I like it.
And
it.
and Xavier Robinson runs it right behind him and scores a touchdown. It was awesome. I was fired up watching it.
That's great.
Because I've been hard on those guys. I know I have.
Yeah.
But it was, if you just fly off the football and try to smash dudes, typically good things happen.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, playing with some velocity there. It's good stuff.
Offensive line. Let's start with EPL. I have never watched a more exhilarating and frustrating performance in all my days. He's got the best snaps on the tape by a wide margin where you just go, oh my gosh, look at him bury this dude. I'm just rewinding it 10 times going, yes, my notes just have all kinds of expletives in them. Like, this is what it's all about, brother. I mean, incredible effort, incredible strain. And then there's the snaps where the technique's just all over the place. It's a mess, but you can never question the effort and the strain. Like, even when his footwork's terrible and he gets himself in a bad position, he's fighting like his life depends on it to get back into position and recover. And if he didn't get himself in those positions, his life would be way easier. But here's where I'm at with it. And I will fully admit, I am the ultimate, you got to play with great technique guy. Like, that's just how I am. But screw the technique, man. Would I like for it to be better? Absolutely. Does it need to get better? Absolutely. But the trade-off of what he brings from an attitude perspective, an energy perspective, it's worth it in my mind. As this is the first time I've got to watch him play a full football game. And as I sat there and I was like, man, just so much could be better, but I don't know what the value is, but there's a lot of value in a guy out there that is just going to go balls to the wall every single snap and set the tone for the entire group.
Yeah.
And that's what he is. He is a tone setter. Right, wrong, or indifferent, man. He is a tone setter. And I know everyone by now has seen the clip of him headbutting Fasusi and running out onto the field like a madman.
Is that like, is that like the berserker run? Head down, arms pumping. That is awesome.
He looks like the juggernaut, just running out there trying to run through a wall. But he brings a level of crazy that I think this offensive line needs.
Yep.
And once again, if the technique comes, and he had some snaps where the feet are good, the pad level is good, and he is putting guys on their back. And I'm just going, oh my gosh, if it was just like this all the time. But he'll continue to get there. But this is where I'm at. It's like, I'll take the technical flaws if I can get a guy that is just playing harder than everyone else on the field all the time.
Yeah.
At some point, you just got to say, hey, the technique may not be great, but look at the effort, look at the intensity, look at the tone he sets for the group. And that's where I'm at with 55. Man, I think the effort will continue to be there. I expect the technique to get better, like especially in pass protection. His first kick, he's oversetting. His weight's getting outside. He's getting on one foot. Guys are taking the inside move because he's giving it to him. He's fighting like crazy to recover. If he just stay more balanced, it when he was balanced in pass protection and guys were running down the middle of him, it was over, man. It was over. So never change, Eddie Pierre-Louis, when it comes to the attitude, the effort, the energy. But please continue to develop the technique, because if the technique comes, Ted, this dude is going to be a monster.
Yeah. Two quick comments. Number one, my experience, and I'm sure probably the same for you, the growth you have playing a full football game compared to spot duty, you can make some big leaps really quickly. It's just different than practice reps. I mean, they do a really good job. I think Venables does a good job recreating, game intensity and game atmosphere in practice, but it's just, no matter how hard you try, it's just never going to be the same. So there's a lot of growth there. Second thing is, that's 3 freshmen on the offensive line.
Correct.
So I know there's going to be some rough areas right now, but the future is bright.
A lot of pressure on Jake Michaela and Fabechi Wiwu to make sure all these young dudes know what they're doing. Now, those guys have to prepare. We know how it is. And Beanbo is great at getting guys prepared for what may come your way on a Saturday. But yeah, 2 true freshmen at tackle and a second-year player at left guard. And you went on the road to Tennessee and won.
There you go.
There's a lot to be excited about, which, hey, Michael Fasusi thought he did some really good things in the run game. His main issue in this game, like when he got in trouble, he was just laid off the ball. And that comes with that environment, right? They're using the clap instead of a head bob, so he doesn't really have the luxury of timing something up. Like, he's just got to react. And the couple of times he was laid off the ball in pass protection, he's just in bad position and he's scrambling to recover. And really, that's it. Like, he lost some reps in the run game, but I thought he held up really, really well, everything considered. I'm really pleased with how he's developing as a player. And now I don't think he's quite gotten all the way back to 100%. So I think this bye week's going to be really good for him and for that ankle. So
it feels like every game he's kind of getting rolled on it at some point, and you can tell he's laboring a little bit after that.
Yeah. Jake Michael, I thought he played another solid game, especially considering I didn't love the matchup for him in the run game coming into it with their defensive tackles and the pad level and the physicality that they played with. But for the most part, he got knocked back a couple times in the run game, but I thought he did a nice job directing traffic for everyone there on the line. Lost some battles, but overall was solid. He continues to be really good in pass protection. I know everyone thinks he stinks now because he got put on his back one time against Ole Miss, but no, he continues to be very good in pass protection. Now, he did get picked in the double mug twist pick again, which we got to figure something out because teams are going to continue to go to that. I've got some ideas. I won't share them on here. I will share them with them though. But he's just solid, man. He's really, really solid. Fabechi Wiwu, I feel like it's the same thing every week.
Yeah.
Really solid, man. A really solid
Super
game.
consistent.
Just physical, and like every other guy, you're playing good players in a big time game. You're going to lose your battles, but he won way more than he lost. And he got edged like one time early in the game in pass protection. Other than that, I thought the dude was basically lights out in pass protection. Just tight hands, physical, good knee bend, head out, just really, really good technically, which was fun to watch. And then OJ, sure, rough moments. There's some rough moments. Had a false start, gave up a sack when Mateer could not take a sack and took a sack. But hey, Tate Sandell's the best kicker on earth. He made up for it. But you consider all the circumstances with Ryan Foje, it is just fantastic how well he is playing. It just is. And he has some moments of natural power in the run game that just make me, I can only be described as giddy as I watch it on the tape. Oh, do you remember we ran, it's like the speed sweep action wide, and we ran the QB power read, and Mateer like just cuts right through the middle of their defense.
Yep.
It's because Ryan Foje takes their defensive end like 8 yards across the ball. It was one of those. I watched it too many times, frankly. But there's stuff like that where he just moves dudes. He's flying off the ball and he's just moving guys, whether it's gap scheme zone, like when the pad level and the feet are good, he just takes dudes for a ride. It's so exciting to think about what he's going to be as a player. Now that he's out at tackle, you have to start recognizing tackle things. When the defensive end's in a tight alignment and the linebacker, you're going, why is that guy so wide? The defensive end is coming inside. And that's something like he has to recognize it. And he did a couple times in this game, and he communicates it, but the entire line has to adjust. If we're running zone and we know that guy's coming inside and they're going to gap exchange it, we've got to zone the front side, like true zone it to pick it up. So that's like the next evolution for him as a player is not only recognizing those types of things in the run game and in pass protection, but communicating it demonstratively so that the entire line adjusts. And we've got to get to a point as an O-line where we see those things. Like there's an empty protection in this game. He sees the guy's creeping. He points at him. He's like, that guy's coming, but we don't block that guy. It like he sees it, and we need to be able to see those things and adjust on the fly. And I'm confident that more time out there at tackle will make him more confident. And then the O-line, like that's the next level as a group is you see that stuff, and you may not be able to verbalize it right away, but you got to be able to adjust to some of that stuff right before you snap the ball. That's what great offensive lines do. You know what I mean?
Yep. Everyone just kind of sees it at the same time and reacts on the fly.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I know that guy's coming off the edge, which means that backside backer that's in our count in empty protection, forget him. He ain't coming. And that all happens in 3/4 of a second.
Yep.
It's not easy, but that's the next step for this group. But overall, man, it really physical defensive line, really tough environment. I thought for the most part, like they handled all of that really well. There's not many, I can't really think of anything on the tape, maybe one or two where I'm like, okay, which backers this guy's working to in the run game. But other than like, not many missed assignments at all from my perspective. Just, I really like the way that this group played together, and it feels like this is our 5 moving forward.
Yeah, and like I said, 3 freshmen, and Fasusi's got 4 starts. Foge's got 2 starts. Eddie Pierre-Louis got 1 start, and that's baptized by fire. Like to go on the road and play, it ain't going to get any louder than that. It's just not. I mean, if it gets louder than that, the human senses won't be able to tell the difference, right? So that is, to do it in that environment is really good. That's awesome.
There's a lot of improvement to be made offensively. But my hope is, especially with how the running game has gotten going over these last couple games, like we're starting to see this offense work towards the best version of itself. I'm hopeful.
I like it.
Got 3 massive games to finish off the season. Mm-hmm. So that group's got to keep getting better. Now, let's get to call your shot. We asked you guys your number 1 takeaway from OU's win over Tennessee. This first one comes from Kevin Lewis, who says, winning is a skill. And you don't win games like this without having a sense of purpose of self and as a team. You cannot go into an environment like that and play what's probably considered not your best game and walk away with a W unless you have developed that skill.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. Being able to get it done, being able to get off the mat after taking a couple of shots, like the bad thing is it feels like we left a lot out there. The good thing is we left a lot out there. We still have not peaked as a football team. So just continuing to get better week by week by week. You mentioned it, the bye week comes at a critical time. Get healthy, get our legs under us. Let what just happened sink in a little bit for some of these young players. I mean, think of all the young guys out there on the football field making plays for us. Blaylock, Guillory, the three freshmen on the offensive line. I mean, there's some young guys that are contributing in a big way.
Xavier Robinson, he ain't old
Xavier
either.
Robinson, there you go.
When you think about guys that had a really big impact on this game, a lot of them are first and second year players.
Yep.
And I know that we're focused on this season, and now this win, you start going, okay, what's the road to the college football playoff look like? And I think that's the natural reaction right now. But there's also a lot to be excited about moving forward when you look at some of the young talent on this roster.
Yep, I agree.
All right, let's get to our Week 10 college football recaps. But first,
Schwab Meat has been smoking the highest quality meats, hot dogs, and sausages in OKC since 1912. Go to schwabmeat.com to order any of Schwab's outstanding products and use promo code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab dogs are iconic. I like to keep it simple. Just a bun, dog, mustard, ketchup. Also, the jalapeno cheddar smoked sausage is ridiculous. schwabmeat.com, code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab Meat, the official hot dog of game days.
And head to the garage for hand smashed patties, butter toasted buns, and ice cold beer. My go-to is the double bison cheeseburger. It's so good. The garage is the perfect spot to watch any big game, and you can enjoy Rad Hour every day. Enjoy discounted domestic beers, house wines, draft cocktails, and frozen cocktails Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Visit eatatthegarage.com to find a location near you or order online from the garage in your neighborhood.
Insurica has launched a new digital agency introducing Insurica Direct. Whether you're in Oklahoma or anywhere across the U.S., they've got you covered. From small business insurance and health insurance for your employees to insurance for individuals like home, auto, and even Medicare supplements. Insurica Direct's got it all. Start your journey today at insuricadirect.com. Remember, at Insurica, we specialize in you.
All right, time to recap the best games week 10 of college football. Let's start in Austin. What a confusing game. It felt, Ted, we watched this entire game together when we were, I don't know, at Neyland Stadium for 12 hours on Saturday. It felt like Texas dominated the game. And somehow this came down to one of the most dramatic, suspenseful onside kicks I can remember in a while.
Oh, there was two games. There was a 55-minute game that Texas dominated, and there was a 5-minute game that Vanderbilt dominated and almost got out of there with the win somehow.
It was, that ball is sitting there on the turf, and it's like, oh.
Guys like fighting, diving over each other to get it.
But the Commodores were unable to corral it before it went out of bounds. And Texas holds on to win 34-31. Steve Sarkisian has to be furious with how they finished that game and also very pleased with how they played. Like you mentioned, like 55 minutes of that game, it was like dominant ball for the vast majority of the game. So what a weird game.
Yeah. Score-wise, what was it like 31-10 for a long time? can't remember. It was they were so dominant that we kind of gave up on the football game. One of the things for me, we talked about it going in, like Pavia lives dangerously and likes to, get outside and create. And we knew it was going to be difficult for him, as athletic as Texas is on the edge, and their edge guys played really well.
Colin Simmons was maybe the
Birch.
best player on the field.
Yep.
Like that fumble that Pavia had, he plays the dive and the quarterback and goes and knocks it out. Like he had a bunch of those. It seemed like number one for the Longhorns was in the backfield a lot. And I know that they had to hold on for dear life at the end, but I was really impressed with how Texas started this game.
I was too.
They came out and they hit Vandy right in the face.
Yep.
And Vandy looked completely overwhelmed by Texas's athleticism on both sides of the ball. It was a disastrous start for Vandy. Bubble screen to Wingo, goes 75 for a touchdown, missed tackles. Pavia then fumbles. Texas gets a field goal. Then they have penalties kill a drive. Texas goes 83 yards on 10 plays and scores a touchdown, and it's 17-0 in a blink of an eye. And it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I still don't know how this game ended up being so suspenseful at the end. It's very confusing, dude.
Yeah. I one of the big takeaways is, he's had some moments this year that were not great, but Wingo's going to be a problem in the future.
If he can catch the ball
now.
consistently,
Yeah.
And that was weird. Like he ended up getting hurt with the hand thing. I'm not sure like what happened there, but it was a disastrous start to the game for Vandy. It was a disastrous start to the second half for them, right? They go 3-and-out. Texas goes right down the field, go up 31-10. And you're like, this thing is over. And I still don't know how it ended up being a game that comes down to an onside kick sitting on the turf. I mean, you and I, we were screaming in the booth up there at Neyland Stadium when the ball was just sitting there on the ground. That's one of the more confusing outcomes I've seen after watching the game. Like we watched every snap of the game essentially, and sometimes football doesn't make sense, man.
Yep. I mean, 34-10, and then they got outscored 21-0 in the fourth quarter, and it is a game of inches, right? That onside kick, I firmly believe that if Vanderbilt gets that onside kick, that with the momentum that they had, they probably win that game. Maybe not. Maybe Texas finds a way to do it. And credit them. They've found ways to win games where they haven't performed well. But game of inches there, and we'll get to another one where it feels like it's just like, is it there? Is it not? I mean, it's crazy how close a lot of these football games are. The difference between winning and losing is a razor's edge.
One of the reasons I like Vandy in this game, I thought Arch Manning was not going to play. And
he played his best game of the season.
Not only did he play, he was great.
Yeah.
Turns out he's pretty good if he's got a clean pocket.
Yeah.
Ball placement was great. Good decisions in the RPO game. I thought that's as good as he's looked in college. They have to be excited about the way that he played against that Vanderbilt defense. But this is kind of my last, and it's a big picture thought about Vandy. I wonder if fighting like crazy to make this a 3-point game may end up being the difference between them getting into the college football playoff or not. Like the way that they finished that game, the fight that they displayed, because they've got Auburn, Kentucky, and then they're at Tennessee to finish the season.
Yeah, whenever you go back and scan their season, you're like, hey, 34 3-point loss on the road to Texas, not that bad. So they've got a loss at Alabama right now and a loss at Texas. There are a lot of 7-2 football teams out there that don't have the resume that they do, and not even close.
I'm with you, man. I still am so confused. They look completely overwhelmed. They couldn't tackle in space at all. You were constantly screaming, "Don't leave your feet."
What are we doing?
I just, it's a
I,
weird game. I still, clearly, I'm still not over it. It was a really weird game.
yeah, you can't dive at people, man. The athletes are too good. You, if you leave your feet to make a tackle, that's where like 90% of missed tackles come is when guys leave their feet and lunge at people. You got nothing to you. If you just go run into somebody, I keep your feet and run into them, you're not going to miss very many tackles. Keep your feet, run into them.
Solid win for Texas, even though it somehow became very dramatic.
Yep.
It was dominant and then somehow dramatic. At just confusing football game. All right, let's get
Texas has won by uh they won by 3 there, overtime. Like they are hanging on the edge. Things could look totally different right now for Texas, but winning is a skill.
winning is a skill. And shout out to at JS Crutter in our Battle Bets League. Winning is a skill for that person because I think they just a massive week, 9,900 in 1 week. Just look at you, JS Crutter.
Dang.
I assume that means the $250 will be coming your way. Our friends at Battle Bets will contact you for that. Reminder, you can still go to battlebets.app/OKBreakdown and join our league and compete against us and other listeners. It is free, and you're making fake bets on college football. Weekly winners, $250 and $500 of real money to the leader of the league at the end of week 11 of college football. Battlebets.app/OKBreakdown. On to Georgia, Florida in Jacksonville. Ted, the Gators had it, man.
Had it.
But repeat after me, everyone. Winning is a skill. Georgia finds a way again. It's just what they do, man. They end up winning 24-20, and it feels like Kirby Smart, this team, like they just make the plays they have to make in close games at the end. They are extremely comfortable when things get very tight and very important, and they get another hard fought close win. And when it felt like Florida may have been the better team for long stretches of this game.
Yep. That's really how it felt. And I mean, it comes down like you play 60 minutes of hard football and it all meets at these critical junctures. And can you find the wide open touchdown? The guy comes back and tries to corral the ball, and it just, oh my. And if there's 10 camera angles, 9 of them confirm a catch, but there's one camera angle where the ball hits the ground and it's a wide open touchdown. Lackway just can't get it to him. And then, they're on defense. Georgia's trying to figure something out, trying to get down there to ice the game out. 3rd and 6, offsides.
You just have to be smarter in that situation. I about lost it when 33 from Florida jumped there. And I had
man.
I did not care who won the game at all. I just went, you've got to be kidding me.
It's so tough. You're amped. You know that you got to get a stop, trying to fly off the football. You want to make a play. You want to make something happen. And you just, like, people are really good at low, like they know that on the other sideline. They know that you're chomping at the bit. They know that you feel like this win is right there, and they use that against you. Again, Georgia just finds a way to win ugly, and winning is a skill.
Winning is a skill. And Stockton does the smart thing and goes down at the 1 at the end of the game. They knee it out for the win. I have a feeling some people that had a Georgia -6.5 ticket didn't love that decision, but
No.
That is the smart football play. And man, it felt like Florida let this one get away from them.
Yep.
That's how it felt to me. They get stuffed on that 4th and 1 at the 17-yard line. And right when that happened, I went, oh boy, here we go. Georgia's going to find a way. And Chauncey Bowens rips off that big touchdown run. He hadn't been able to find much of anything all game long. And then the last couple drives, boom, big touchdown run. Another huge chunk play. I still kind of think Sturdivant caught that ball, but it felt very Florida the way that thing ended up finishing.
Yep. It's tough. And, I took Florida to win the football game. It just felt like this is the game where they get it done. Bye week, coming off a coach getting let go. You're going to have that one game burst, right? Now we'll see if they can keep it up. At Kentucky, at Ole Miss, Tennessee, Florida State, tough finish. They've had a brutal schedule, but no one's going to give you any pity party for that. The other Lagway's just got to be better for him too.
Is he good? I don't think he's very good. I think the thing and he actually had a big run in this game, and it's the fastest I've seen him look on that one play. But like, we went from watching Kevin Jennings at SMU run around and just be incredibly dynamic in this playmaker in that upset, and we'll get to that in winners and losers. But then we went straight into watching Lagway, and he just looks like he's running with cinder blocks on his feet compared to Jennings. You know what I mean?
He ain't Sellers.
No, no.
I think the thought was he running the football and athleticism is a lot like Sellers. It ain't close, in my opinion. At least right now. He's had a lot of injury stuff, and he's still a fairly young player, but, it feels like all that time missed in the offseason set him back dramatically.
Yeah, he is not dynamic with his legs at all. Like, he's a pocket guy.
Yep.
And if you're a pocket guy, you got to make really good decisions, and you got to have great accuracy. And I don't think anyone would describe DJ Lagway's play at quarterback that way currently.
Nope.
But hey, Stockton made some mistakes in this one. We saw some of the bad of Gunnar Stockton, but hey, they were able to overcome it, win the football game. And one last thing on this game, Ted, has to be my favorite penalty of the year. Gunnar Stockton got a penalty for clapping too intensely in this game, which is it's just the perfect penalty in college football in 2025. You can clap, but you can't clap too intensely, guys. Don't you? There's too much motion in the clap. It's like, what are we even doing, dudes? Like, God, can we just ban the clap snap count? That would be the best thing for the sport. Just ban it so I don't have to watch it anymore.
It doesn't do anyone any good. All right. It looks bad. It looks like a little league thing or a high school thing. If they don't do it in the NFL, it's a good idea, in my opinion, to not do it. If the pinnacle of the sport doesn't do it, maybe you shouldn't do it either.
All in favor of banning the clap snap count, say aye.
Aye.
We'll see. We'll send this to the D1 Council, see what they think. Let's make these guys play real football. Use words.
Real men use a snap count.
That's a good T-shirt.
So is winning as a skill.
I'll get on that one. That we need to get that one printed for sure. Winning is a skill. Let me know if you would buy a winning is a skill T-shirt. It feels like that's your number one phrase on here now.
I think so.
That, and here's the thing. I always know you're going to get real serious when you go, okay, here's the thing. But winning is a skill is a good one. I think that would look good on a T-shirt. I'll get with our people at Opolis and see how quickly we can make that happen. But tweet us. Let me know if you would buy it. That's usually helpful when it comes to those conversations. All right, one more game. We don't have to spend a lot of time on this, but I have no idea what Ryan Day said at halftime. But whatever he said, dude, it worked, because this was a 17-14 game at the half, and Ohio State choked the absolute life out of Penn State in the second half. Final score 38-14.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, they're going into halftime, the halftime interview going into the locker room. I mean, Penn State loved where they were at. And I mean, it became very clear early in the second half that, okay, yeah, Ohio State is Ohio State. And how good is Sane continue to be, man? That dude, he's quietly, which, frustration of mine, Ohio State has really played. I mean, if you want to call this a big football game, considering Penn State's now a 3-5 team with a fired coach, but they played Texas in the first game. They played Michigan in the last game. Everything else in between is filler. But Julian Sayin is playing incredible ball. 23 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
He is making great decisions with the ball. What was he, 20 of 23 in this game?
Yeah, he is currently 80% completion percentage on the season.
And the thing about that is, it's not a bunch of RPO stuff at the line of scrimmage. This dude rips it down the field. And that was the biggest takeaway from this game is clearly Ohio State's just better than Penn State. We all know that. But this game's the perfect example of the importance of explosive plays for an offense. It felt like nothing came easy for Penn State, especially in the passing game. They found some stuff in the run game. Hey, people are going to run pin pull at Ohio State and see if they figured that out because they struggled with that. Penn State found a lot of success with that concept. But Penn State's just the passing game, the explosive, they're just not there. Meanwhile, Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, these guys are just ripping it down the field. Insane is putting it right where it needs to be. And Tate, 5 for 124 with the 57-yard touchdown. Smith, 6 for 123, had a couple touchdowns. One of them was a 57-yarder. Explosive offensively for them.
Yeah. And the thing about Ohio State is last year, it felt like, I mean, almost most people in unison said, well, that was fun. That Ohio State team is the last super team. But you look around, like the amount of just outlier players that they have on both sides of the ball is incredibly impressive.
Yeah. Arvell Reese is so fun to watch. Caleb Downs had that interception in the end zone. I thought he was going to get ejected for targeting. He didn't, and ends up having the end zone interception. But they just got dudes everywhere, man. Yep. Everywhere. And yep. I think that if most people had to pick a team to win the national championship, I think the vast majority of people that are really into college football, whether you cover the sport or you're just a fan, like I think most people would pick Ohio State.
Yeah. It's hard, like you don't get to see them go up against a lot of top 10 caliber teams over and over, but I mean, they're going to be a team late in the year that is not going to be worn down by the grind of the week after week physicality and playing in hard atmospheres and all of that stuff. And they've got great schemes offensively and defensively, great players. They're going to be really tough to beat.
All right, let's finish up. Oh, Penn State has a 6'6", 300-pound punter that wears number 99. That's awesome.
And what you kind of expect he does to the football, he does.
It's that a bright spot in a dark, dark season for the Nittany Lions is the jumbo punter that they have.
He's the only punter. Like every now and then you see punters or kickers have these just trash numbers, and 99 is not typically a great number unless a defensive lineman wears it. That's gigantic. And he looks great in 99. It looks like he's supposed to be wearing 99.
Completely agree.
Your punter is a first off the bus guy.
Typically, the punter that wears the 99, like he's so scrawny, it looks like he's almost like a bobblehead, right? His helmet looks too big. Not this guy. This guy's a unit. It crushes the ball. It's fun. Yeah. If there's one thing to be excited about as a Penn State fan, it's your jumbo punter. That's great.
Yep.
They use them a lot.
Yes, it gets a lot of work.
All right, let's finish up with our winners and losers of the weekend. But first, wind, hail, tornadoes, and earthquakes are now year round threats. And at the same time, homeowners insurance rates in Oklahoma are the highest in the entire country. Unfortunately, some insurance companies use deceptive and bad faith claim handling practices to deny or lower what little they pay out. Fortunately, one of the leading insurance bad faith attorneys in the country is a longtime Sooner and resides here in Oklahoma, Jeff Marr. The Marr Law Firm has represented more victims of tornado, storm, and earthquake damage than anyone in the Sooner State, recovering hundreds of millions of dollars for their clients. There's only one law firm to handle insurance companies, Marr Law Firm. And three things matter in banking: service, service, and service. And First Fidelity Bank's commitment to exceptional service is more than a promise. It's their foundation. FFB has been by your side for over a century, and they are honored to be a part of your journey. Banking isn't about where you've been, it's about where you are headed. Open an account at an award-winning bank today at ffb.com. At First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go.
Bishop McGuinness Catholic High School represents a tradition of educational excellence in Oklahoma City. Grounded in a faith-based education, Bishop McGuinness offers a college prep curriculum that includes 26 AP courses, participation in OSSAA athletics, and numerous clubs and organizations for students to join and grow. If you want to provide the best possible educational and spiritual development for your children, contact Bishop McGuinness Catholic High School or visit bmchs.org. Financial aid is available.
And go to opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED for 10% off our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED. Buttery soft and 10% off. As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
The Dodgers.
Why do you sound so disappointed? I don't care about anyone in baseball, really. So why the disappointment?
I didn't either until Toronto had the chance to win Game 7 at their place as an underdog that a lot of people, including me, thought that they were going to just get, beaten 4 or 5 games. They took it to 7. It was incredibly intense, a lot of fun, extra innings, and the Dodgers get it done. What a great series. Whenever you see teams, super teams that have these massive payrolls, there's the thought that, well, there's a bunch of just individual mercenaries out there that are just playing for the big payday. But to see Clayton Kershaw running in for the celebration, that makes you say, okay, this is a lot of fun. This is awesome. It means a lot to these guys. I hate it for the Toronto fans. It was there. It was right there. And that's the hardest way to lose one, man. But what a series.
Incredible series. And we say it all the time about baseball. Like, we just want to be entertained.
Yeah.
You couldn't ask for more from an entertainment standpoint. And the game was so good. Like, during the commercial breaks, during our broadcast of the OU Tennessee game, we're all talking about what's going on in the World Series, which was pretty fun. But you talk about the pain, man. You're up 4-2 going into the 8th inning at home. They end up getting, who was it? I think it was Muncy that homered in the 8th and then Rojas in the 9th.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Nothing but pain. If you're a Toronto Blue Jays fan, pain.
Well, like even Game 6 on Friday night, right? The way it ended with, the ball getting wedged and then, the outfielder making the great play and doubling him up at second.
You cannot get doubled up in that situation. What was he doing?
Oh, that was tough. Every game. Well, I know Blue Jays blew them out in Game 1, but, every game had just like great drama, the crowds, the pitching. The individual defensive plays, the hitting, it was just the stars out there. I don't know. I don't know what World Series typically do ratings wise, but this has to be one of the best game seven, like full 7 game series ratings wise that baseball's had in a while. I would
Oh,
imagine.
there. If I imagine you're right, like it was wildly entertaining, and the Dodgers win again. This is the good thing about not having a baseball team. I don't really care. Would I've loved to watch Toronto win and celebrate at home? Absolutely. Do I care that the Dodgers won? No. I'm over here going, I just wanted to be entertained, and I got as entertaining of a 7 game series as I could have possibly asked for.
I
I'm the happiest baseball fan in the world right now.
There was this dude. So our booth at Tennessee, which by the way, amazing.
Everything about our experience in Knoxville, the town, the river, the stadium, the radio booth, the campus. It was all great. It was fantastic. I'm a big Knoxville fan over here.
Hey,
Can't wait to go back again.
those that think Heupel would leave that job and go somewhere else, there's no way.
Oh, no
Wait,
chance.
no
Dude's got
chance.
it made there.
It's beautiful. The area around Knoxville's just
All right,
it
let's
was
not
great.
get put on the
Yeah.
recruiting reel for Tennessee here. Let's stop. Let's
Uh,
stop.
well, in the booth next to us was like a game operations. It's like where I think they're running the cameras and the music and everything was right next to us on our left. And there was a guy in there that had a Blue Jays baseball jersey on with like a Tennessee jacket around it. And he was like, you could tell he was watching the game on the laptop the whole night. What a brutal night for that guy. Just brutal. They
The
lose the
rare
Tennessee
the
game.
rare Tennessee Volunteers Toronto Blue Jays combo fan. That there can't be many of them, man. And that guy had a bad night.
He was like, well, we lost the football game, but at least I'm about to win a World Series.
Not so fast, my friend.
Double beat down. But congrats to the Dodgers. Great entertainment.
Who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
The Rambling Wreck from Georgia Tech. They were just absolutely rolling. I mean, they'd gone through everyone. They beat Clemson early in the season, had just handled business, were playing great ball. It looked like they were just on a cruise control collision course with Georgia in that final game. They took Georgia to the wire last year. We watched that one when we were in Baton Rouge, but NC State, they were ready to roll in this one. They put up a ton of offense on Georgia Tech, 583 yards, a lot of offense going around, by the way, but what a football game. And Georgia Tech gets beat by NC State. And like, I don't know. I still think that there's a good chance that Georgia Tech can go win the ACC and be a playoff football team. But that takes a big hit on them resume wise. You know, they don't have a bunch of opportunities for big games. Kind of feels like, you know, they may have to beat Georgia to get in if they don't win the ACC, but it's still Virginia undefeated in the ACC and Georgia Tech at 5-1. Both those teams are 8-1 overall. Going to be interesting. All of a sudden, the ACC has gotten fascinating. SMU's 4-1, still in the battle after a nice win. Miami 2-2 in conference play. All of a sudden,
The ponies are my winner of the weekend. We'll get to that. But CJ Bailey, NC State's quarterback in this game, was incredible.
yep.
He looks like jumbo Vince Young, like even longer. Like the longest strides you've ever seen on a quarterback. He's like 6'6", but was just ripping it down the field from the pocket, on the move, just finding guys time after time after time in the passing game. And he like got hurt before the half and was like playing on one leg and still just balling out in the second half. It was crazy to watch. They went to their belldozer package essentially with Will Wilson at the goal line several times, and he just punched it right down Georgia Tech's face. They did all of this offensively without Hollywood Smothers, who OU fans remember. By the way, coming into the weekend, he was leading the country in rushing. How about that? And then their star tight end, I can't remember. I think it's Jolly, something like that. Joly. He didn't play in this game either. So like two of their three biggest weapons offensively didn't play, and they put 48 on Georgia Tech's head.
Wow. Yeah, it's nuts. Listen to this stat line. A guy that doesn't get talked about a lot. 25 of 35, 408 yards, 2 touchdowns passing. 20 carries, 2 touchdowns, 103 yards rushing. 511 total yards for Haynes King in a loss.
He is one of my favorite players in college football.
Dog.
He's a dog, man. He's one of those guys where if they end up making the rule where guys could just play college football their entire careers, I wouldn't mind watching Haynes King play college football till he's like 35. I wouldn't. But he won the problem, man. They were horrible defensively in this game.
And they're usually pretty dang good.
Explosive after explosive after explosive. I mean, Jaden Scott, who is the Wolfpack's backup running back, went for 196.
Woo.
I mean, they got carved up every which way you can get carved up as a defense. Through the air, quarterback, running back, like traditional run game. It was all cooking for the Wolfpack. I was really surprised watching Georgia Tech get sliced up like that by North Carolina State.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty wild. I hadn't seen much of Bailey, the quarterback for NC State. He's a fascinating little talent, or not little, 6'6", sophomore player, and he's putting together a nice season.
He's going to be very expensive for them to retain.
2,400 passing yards, 70% completion percentage, 19 touchdowns. He's thrown 7 interceptions, but what a player. Yeah, he is. Start calling the donors. That's going to be a hard one to retain.
Yeah. All right, let's get to my winner and loser of the weekend. But first, guys, it's time to make the switch to the Ridge wallet. Go to ridge.com and use promo code OKBreakdown at checkout for 10% off your order. The days of the super fat wallet that hurts to sit on are over. Make the switch to this sleek modern design that can hold up to 12 cards and cash. Love this little elastic band that the Ridge wallets have. And Ridge has over 50 colors and styles to choose from. Ridge has free shipping, a 99-day risk-free trial, and a lifetime warranty on all of their products. This is literally the last wallet you'll ever have to buy. Ridge wallets have RFID blocking technology that keeps you safe from digital pickpocketers as well. Get 10% off at ridge.com when you use code OKBreakdown at checkout. That's ridge.com, code OKBreakdown for 10% off. After your purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Whether you're a guy that likes to clean shave every day or a bearded guy that just needs to line your neck and cheeks up, the Harry's Plus razor is the only way to go. The second you put this thing in your hand, you know it's nice. It's so heavy. The blades look amazing. You can just see and feel how luxurious this thing is. And when you shave with it, you feel like you're giving yourself a barbershop quality shave. It's awesome. And maybe the best part is how affordable it is. Harry's controls their entire production process from steel to shelf, so they're able to keep costs low. And for a limited time, our listeners can get the Harry's Plus trial set for only $10 at harrys.com/OKBreakdown. This set includes the all-new Harry's Plus razor, one refined 5-blade cartridge, a 2-ounce foaming shave gel, and a travel cover to protect your blades on the go. Just head to harrys.com/OKBreakdown to claim this offer. And after your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. All right, for my winner of the weekend, Give me the SMU Mustangs. I call them the ponies. Does anyone call them the Mustangs?
Mm, not
I
not really.
I can't recall anyone being like, "Hey, did you watch the Mustangs game?" Never. Maybe I don't think I've ever heard that. But they knock off Miami in overtime, 26-20, and man, what a win for Rhett Lashley. Did anyone have a better weekend than Rhett Lashley?
Well, judging by the way Clayton Kershaw ran in from the bullpen, maybe Clayton Kershaw, but
Fair
that's
enough.
it.
Fair enough. But Rhett Lashley coming into the game, he gets the contract extension because his name had come up for some of these big job openings. They make him one of the top 10 highest paid coaches in college football. And then he knocks off Miami.
Yep.
It's a pretty dang good weekend. But it ultimately comes down to a Carson Beck mistake in overtime, right? That was the difference in the game.
Yep.
Late and over the middle.
You can't pump it and stare at the guy and throw it to him. Just can't do it.
And that's a good play by Ahmad Moses. It's a good play.
Yes, it is. Yep.
But not a great decision from Carson Beck. And Moses arguably had the two biggest plays of this game. He had that interception in overtime, and then he had that interception, I think it was in the second quarter, and they turned it into a touchdown right away. Like he had some huge plays in this game for him. But my favorite thing about this game, I loathe when teams get a stop in overtime and they leave it up to the kicker. I loathe that. Never leave it up to the kicker. Even Tate Sandell, those beautiful thighs, never leave it up to him. They didn't, man. They went and scored a touchdown, and so much for that vaunted Miami defensive line. Those dudes got blown off the rock in overtime.
Yep.
And the ponies went right down their face, and TJ Harden runs it in for the game-winning touchdown. I was just like, wow, that was impressive.
Yeah.
But that's how you finish a football game, man.
No kidding. Especially whenever you consider TJ Harden had 8 carries for 27 yards. They ran the ball, SMU, the ponies, 25 carries for 23 yards. But
exactly how you draw it up.
When it mattered, they absolutely got it done.
Kevin Jennings was the difference in the football game.
Yep.
He was the reason they won the game. He's a good quarterback. Like, he can play within structure, but he's also a playmaker. And this is something you talk about a lot, Ted.
Yep.
That dude he makes things happen, whether it's from the pocket or buying time, keeping his eyes down the field, delivering the ball, making plays with his legs. Like, SMU had the playmaker at quarterback. Miami did not.
Right. Yep.
No turnovers for Jennings in this game. Got a little lucky at the start of the second half with that fumble that was overruled. Called it an incomplete pass. Sometimes you need some luck, but he ends up 29 of 44 for 365 and a touchdown.
Yep.
And just Jordan Hudson was really good for him. 11 for 136. The guy was making play after play after play. But ultimately for me, Miami's supposed to have one of the best, most talented defenses in the country. They had a chance to win the game at the end of regulation. SMU got the ball at the 10-yard line with 2:10 to go. Miami's defense lets them get in position to kick a field goal to send it to overtime. And it was aided by one of the dumbest personal foul penalties I've seen. I've seen called. The refs make some of the worst decisions. It's crazy to me, but it is what it is. But then they have the opportunity. Hey, you're put in a horrible spot in overtime, but you got to force a field goal. You got to make them go through the entire operation. You never know what will happen. And right down your face, touchdown, game over.
Yep. And
Miami is not who we thought they were.
No. Credit SMU, one of the best players in college football this year has been Bain, defensive end for Miami. And he had a game that was, just kind of a non-factor. 2 tackles, 1 solo tackle on the day. You mentioned Jennings running around. That's a big part of it. Yeah, I'll still say, though, my God, Malachi Tony is so good.
So good.
He is so fast. We talk about it a lot. He's one of those guys that whenever you watch a game, it looks like there's someone that's playing at a different speed than everyone else on the field, and that's him.
Speaking of expensive to retain,
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know who his agent is, but I assume that man's phone is on fire.
Yep. Because it'd be interesting to see what happens in Miami. Like this was supposed to be it, you know?
He'd look pretty good in crimson. Just
Yes, he
saying.
would.
He'd look
Yes,
real
he
good in
would.
crimson. All right, my loser of the weekend. I hate to do it, but I got to, man. Give me the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Oh, vibes were so high. Matt Rule, contract extension this week. I'm not going to Penn State. I'm staying here. I'm seeing this through. Awesome. One less thing to worry about. And then no one embraces a blackout like Nebraska. I mean, this is a full on blackout. We're talking black jerseys with the black N on the helmet, the black N logo at midfield with the black end zones, fans wearing all black. They even released black balloons. I mean, it is flawless execution of the blackout. Looked like an incredible atmosphere in Lincoln, but they lose another one, man.
Yep.
Another one to another ranked team. And this stat is impossible to believe. It is Nebraska's 29th straight loss against a ranked opponent.
It's nuts.
That feels statistically impossible, but it's a fact. It's insane. And this was a game, unfortunately, it felt like they were in full control, Ted. And then Dylan Raiola went out with that ankle injury. He never came back in the game, and they were never able to find it offensively again. I mean, it felt like it was going to be a really close game, but it felt like they were in control, and then he goes down, and it kind of fell apart for him.
Yep. I mean, had the lead 17-14 with like 10 minutes or so to go in the fourth quarter and just field goal to go up and just couldn't hold USC. USC goes down, scores a touchdown. They go 4 and out and then force a punt, but USC was able to run a lot of clock and then turnover on downs. A very anticlimactic way to end the football game. And
Dude, did you see the turnover on downs?
no,
Oh, Ted. It's as painful as a game can end for a football team. Emmett Johnson, who I thought played a really nice game for them at running back. There's a massive hole. It's massive. It's an easy first down on the 4th and 1. And he trips over the quarterback's feet and falls on the ground short of the first down. I swear, dude, you got to go watch it. It's like he's handing it to him. He's going, you can see it. They show like the sky cam view. There's a massive hole. Great surge from the right side of the offensive line. He could have crawled to the first down, but gets tangled up with Latif and falls down short of the sticks. It was, dude, I'm telling you, it was brutal, bro.
dude, it's like, I don't know what happened, but they've got to go back through and figure out where the curse is. Like you mentioned the top 25 losses, and I would guess that the majority of those are one score losses. Like the amount of one score games that Nebraska's lost over the last like 8 or 10 years it's insane.
This one was extra painful because when you're Nebraska and you do all the blackout stuff and then you lose, you kind of look at it and you go, that was kind of dumb. You know what I mean? Like you're Nebraska, go big red. No. All black.
Yeah. It's tough. Everyone wants it so bad for Nebraska. I feel like I don't know if it's the nostalgia or what it is. They're easy to root for, but despite like all of the hype every year, you end up getting the same brutal results. I hate it for them. UCLA at UCLA, at Penn State, and Iowa, final 3 games. They're 6-3. I mean, got a chance to just continue to get a little bit better, but man, it's that I feel so bad for that fan base.
I wait till you see that 4th and 1. Yeah, you'll feel even worse. It's I'm telling you, dude, it's brutal. But USC kind of just found a way, man. I know we're talking about the pain for Nebraska, and I do think Matt Rule, he made a decision to kick a field goal instead of go for it on 4th and short, and they ended up missing the field goal, and then USC goes down the field, couple big Maeva runs, and they were able to convert on the 2-point conversion, which they faked the Philly special, which was give credit where it's due to Lincoln Riley. That was sweet. I mean, you know how on that play, the quarterback goes to the line, he acts like he's changing something, they snap it, you flip it to the guy for the reverse pass.
Mm-hmm.
They faked flipping it to the guy. Ran right in the end zone. It's really well done. But there's some decisions in that game that Matt Rule is going to look at and go, should I have been more aggressive? But ultimately, you're the black shirts. It's the blackout. USC kind of mushed them late in the game with the run game with King Miller. And that's got to be very frustrating for everyone involved.
Yep. King Miller's come on strong last couple of games.
You didn't expect the walk-on freshman to just be ripping off 100-yard games for the Trojans? Why not, Ted?
18 for 158 against Michigan, 18 for 70 against Notre Dame, good defense, and then 18 for 21 or 29 or 129, sorry, against Nebraska. Pretty good.
One more just miserable statistic to make Nebraska fans even sadder. Maeva was 9 of 23 for 135 yards. It is the lowest passing total for a USC quarterback since 2018. And they won on the road in a blackout.
Well,
pain. Nothing but pain for the Cornhuskers faithful.
I have a little bit of, I guess it's not hope or anything, but Nebraska fans will soon have a T-shirt that says winning is a skill. And you've got to pound it home, right? You got to find a way to win those games.
Winning is a skill. It's important to remember, people. Birthday shout-outs. Welcome to the world. Oh, no, I think I cut it off. Emmy Lou Stouts. I'll correct that if it's wrong. Let me find it real quick. I'm so sorry. I think that's right, though.
Happy 6th birthday to Elizabeth Krosky.
It was welcome to the world, Emmy Lou Stout. Stout. I apologize to the Stout family. Congratulations, guys. Awesome.
Welcome to the world, Emmy Lou. And like I said, happy 6th birthday to Elizabeth Krosky.
Happy 8th birthday to Greer Cooper.
Happy 16th birthday to Jackson Kavillapur.
It's got to be one of those, right?
Yes.
Happy 29th birthday to Joshua CTE Westbrook. I was told that the nickname stems from some concussions he suffered in intramural flag football. So
learn an instrument, Josh. Start brushing your teeth with your left hand. Work on those neural connections. You'll be okay. Happy 40th birthday to Cody Cooper.
Happy 46th birthday to Benjamin Rayfield.
And happy 48th birthday to Troy Storts.
Happy 57th birthday to, did they type day twice? I just copy and pasted this one. Happy 57th birthday, Day James Berry.
And happy birthday to Susie Leibovich.
Lebovich. Susie. Hey, Susie. Come on.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. You're awesome. You're great. On that note, episode 577 in the books. Just breathe with a bye week, baby.
That's right.
We'll figure out some fun content, but let's just take a breath there, Lehman.
Survive in advance, folks.
We'll have a new podcast that'll drop on Wednesday. Just a reminder, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hope you all have a great start to your week. Until next time, we appreciate you all for listening. Do what you always do, Oklahoma. Take care of each other.